So my lineups didn't do so well. After my last video, I did enter another lineup right before the game just to try to hedge against my first one. You can see here I got wide receivers as my MVP slot in both contests. One with Tyler Lockett as the MVP and the other one with Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks was a letdown. He had less than 10 points through 3 quarters, left the game early with an injury, and that really hurt. Russell Wilson in one of my lineups, but both of my opponents had him in their lineups as well as they both had him in the MVP slot. So I only made 29 points to their 44. I typically like to keep wide receivers or running backs as my MVP slot as opposed to quarterbacks. But last night it definitely would have been a good move to have Russell Wilson at the MVP slot. He completed 17 of 23 passes for 268 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that also hurt. DK Metcalf was my sleeper pick in one of my lineups, and he actually did get a touchdown reception, but my opponent had him too, so I didn't get any advantage over him for that. The other lineup I had Rashad Penny as my sleeper / value play, but I didn't quite play out either. I did pick Zerline in one of my lineups, and that was worth it. That served as value. He had 12 points last night. He did miss the game winning field goal. I find that picking a kicker is actually pretty effective in single game slates. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more yardage and maybe another touchdown out of Tyler Lockett, but he still put up 18.45 fantasy points for me in my MVP slot. Cooper Kupp was good as always, 117 yards, 9 receptions, and a touchdown catch. Jared Goff did do fairly well. He had 18.9 fantasy points, 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, which I expected just because he doesn't play as good on the road. He had lots of missed opportunities, misplaced or underthrown balls, and actually the interception he threw was a good pass. It just got tipped off the hands of Gerald Everett. The Rams made a good defensive stop inside the last 2 minutes to try to pull off the comeback win. They go marching down the field, get a delay of game with like 20 seconds left on the clock, moving back 5. Then they get some of that yardage back with Robert Woods, and then it's 4th down. They send in the kicker to win the game by 2. Zerline misses what I think was a 42-yarder, 40-something yards, I'm pretty sure. He misses by just barely inches, and the Seahawks win the game. Todd Gurley didn't have a bad game, and neither did Chris Carson, so those two would have definitely been decent picks. I think Todd Gurley ran for 2 touchdowns, even though they were short yardage. Chris Carson ran for 118 yards on 27 carries, averaged about 4.5 yards per carry. They both had less than 18 points, but that would have been better than Brandon Cooks' whopping 9.15. Will Dissly and Gerald Everett also had decent games. That would have been a decent pick as well. It is what it is. I haven't seen an update as far as Cook's injury, but hopefully all is good and he'll be back next week because he's still one of my favorite wide receivers. But that's the recap from last night's competitions. How'd you guys fare? Let me know what your thoughts are on the game, the lineups. Did you win, lose, and who are you looking for at your plays for this weekend? Let me know down in the comments, and be sure to stay tuned for a video I have coming out about all the Jalen Ramsey trade stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.